Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Conversations and Chai with Lubna. Today we have a special guest from the Boys and Girls Club, and we'll be talking to him about this charity, which is actually quite an old charity in Ottawa, and perhaps a lot of people don't know about the good work and the important role they play in a lot of children's lives. So let's meet our guest today. So today's guest is Maidan at Musa. He's the Chief Operating Programs Manager at the Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. So welcome to our show today, Maidan. How are you today?
Thank you, Michelle. I'm very good. How are you?
Good. And how are your kids doing?
They're great.
And how old are they again?
5, 7, 9, and almost 19.
Wow. So you have a busy home there, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So why don't we start off and perhaps you could just introduce yourself, just like a brief introduction, so people understand, what exactly you do at the Boys and Girls Club. I know the Boys and Girls Club is one of the oldest charities around. A lot of people don't know a lot about it, so that's what we'll try to cover today later on. Sure. So let's do a quick intro of yourself first.
Sure. Like you said, I'm Maidan Admasu. I'm the Chief Programs Officer. I've just recently started. I've been there for about a year's time.
Yeah.
But I'm an alumni of and actually we've changed our name just very recently. We're now BGC Ottawa.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, we made the change. It's actually because we're part of a national movement of children organizations. We made a decision nationally even to change so we can be more inclusive as an organization. So people that identify as non-binary or trans or not necessarily boy or girl, they'll feel a little bit more included. It's part of a process of things we're doing to be more equitable in terms of how we serve children.
Okay. And were you always with the Boys and Girls Club? No, I was reading your bio. I think you were involved with some other organizations before, right?
For sure, yeah. I started attending the BGC Ottawa when I was 9. So I know it very long. But I stayed in the social services sector for a long time, working with the city and other funders and organizations.
Well, that's great. So we'll be right back. So first tell us, what is the Boys and Girls Club? Well, first of all, you just mentioned that they've changed the name. So what was it called before?
So it was Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa. Yeah. Now it's BGC Ottawa.
BGC Ottawa.
BGC Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that now it's a national organization? And before it wasn't?
No, it was local. It still is very local. We're just part of a movement of BGCs across Canada. And so we have a national partner that supports us with programs and services. But to answer your first question, we serve children that are 6 to 18 throughout the city of Ottawa. We're typically located in communities that are a bit more vulnerable or that is located near social housing neighborhoods, for example. But we're open for everybody. So children need to come from everywhere throughout Ottawa.
Okay. Yeah. And how old is this organization?
We're almost 100 years old.
Oh, wow. 100 years. So that's a very long time. I know they were around for a long time. And is it being registered for 100 years as well? Or?
Well, that's a trick question. I don't know if I know how long it's been
I know they are registered, but you don't know.
But we've been registered. I mean, we've been around since 1923. We're federally registered charitable organizations, so well established. Definitely.
Well established. Yeah. That's good to know. Now let's talk about, I know before there was just the one location on MacArthur.
We started as a boys club way back when, but now we have 3 main locations.
Where are they?
So there's one in near IKEA Pinecrest and Demorier neighborhood. So that's the Ron Colbus Clubhouse, named after a former counselor. And then Don McGann Clubhouse, which is in MacArthur near St. Laurent. Yeah. And then the third one's Tomlinson Family Foundation Clubhouse, which is Deborah Dines and Prince of Wales and Meadowlands. Okay,
but there's more though. I was looking and I think I saw like maybe 10?
Yeah, we're about 10 now. It changes, so we partner with schools and community partners as well. Yeah. And so we use their spaces as well. So we're located in about 5 schools. Because of COVID, there's been some programs that are running, some aren't. But typically, right now we're about 10. We also have a camp. We have Camp Smitty, which is an overnight camp in Eganville.
Yeah.
And so we have that as an option too, which we're just excited because people are able to go right now for the first time. Last summer we had to cancel programs.
Exactly, because of COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
So were you impacted very greatly because of COVID?
I mean,
negatively and perhaps positively as well. I know some of the charities had a bit of a positive boost. Perhaps they raised more money and so on. So
we didn't raise more money per se, but we did get some support, government support, some grants that provided some, support in that sense. We did get one specific donation that was extremely, it's the largest donation we've ever gotten through a grant for a 4th clubhouse. So we're building a brand new clubhouse. I think it's since 1980 or so we haven't built a new location like this, of this size and
scale. So like a physical location. And where will that be?
It's in the South End. So
amazing.
In the Heatherton community.
Yes, and that's another. So mainly you're located in these social assisted communities?
It's just strategically so we can...
Those are the kids who need the help, and those are the kids who need something to do.
And there's a high population of children and youth. So it's just strategically makes sense to be in a space where there's a lot of children and youth, right? So that way we can attract... So this one location is going to be in Heatherton and Walkley area, but it's looking to serve kids as far as Hunt Club.
There's a lot of kids in that area.
A lot of kids.
A lot of kids. So what is your role?
So what
do you do?
Yeah.
Are you in charge of all the programs and so on?
I am, in a way. I get to oversee the programs and services. And so I have a team of staff and volunteers that deliver directly frontline. We have part-time staff, full-time staff, a lot of staff that are actually from the communities we serve. So that's I get to watch them do the work and just support them. Okay. So you mentioned you have different type of programs. So why don't we run through that a little bit? So during school year, do you have different programs? Like right now, summer has started. So what do you have for summer right now for kids? Right. So we're starting July 5th. We're opening up day camps. So summer and school year, all year long, all our programs fall under 4 categories.
Okay.
So we have education programs, so things like homework clubs. We have a scholarship program that the members get access to. We have physical activity and healthy living programs. So, teach your kids how to cook and prepare their own meals. Yeah, some great, because of our partnership with the National Boys and Girls Club, or BGC, we get access to all evidence-based programs. And so we know what we're delivering is things that help to build skills, give them opportunities to do something new, something different, and so a lot of confidence in that. So education, physical activity, and there's 2 others. So leadership pillar, so leadership programming like youth councils and just skill building programs, and then finally creative arts, where kids get to figure out their own ways to express themselves.
So I know in the summer, is it like an all-day camp?
In summer, yes, all-day camp.
So they come at like typically what time? What time do they go?
So there's 2. There's ones in the city. We have programming from 9 to 4 in most locations, and then an evening program, so from 5 to 8 or 5 to 9.
Like during the school year, I assume.
During the summer.
Oh, during the summer you have both programs.
We have both because of COVID.
That's a lot of volunteers and employees, I'm thinking.
That's a lot. It is a lot. I think right now there's a lot of attention to mental health for children and trying to address those things. So we're trying to maximize the time that we can get with them. So the more we can do that before they go back to school, the better. And then during the school year, it's all critical after hours, hour program.
So let's talk about the 4 different programs.
Yep.
So what's the first one, sorry?
Education.
So what do you do in that one?
So typically, after school, so in the school year, the kids will come from 3:30 to 4:35, something like that. There'll be a program, they get a snack, just to address some of those needs. Some of the kids come directly from school, right? Parents are still working. And so we meet some of the basic needs first. They get a little relaxation. We have gyms in most of our locations.
Right.
And then we get into their actual schoolwork. We get into the homework and give them support.
So I guess kids would register, and then according to what their requirements are, then they'd be allocated in those pillars or those groups.
It's even more,
or do they do all of them?
Less structured than that. It's very open. Like we have, typically it's a drop-in style. So kids can come, they just register.
People don't register for this?
They register once.
And they just drop in and out as they feel like it?
Yeah, and so our whole goal is to keep welcoming them back, right? During this last year, we've done some pre-registration, a little more than usual, but our attitude is that we have no barriers. Not our attitude, our approach is no barriers. Okay. So if a kid wants to come once, great, we're there, we're ready to support them.
If they don't want to come the next time, no problem. And then it's like an open door policy.
Open door, and just the point is to build relationships with the children and youth, right?
That's amazing.
That's,
mentoring and so on, because I feel like that's what a lot of the kids actually miss out on. They're not guided into the right direction, right? That's what's critical, when raising children, right? They need some sort of boundaries and perhaps like a schedule or a pathway made for them.
Yes.
So you guys are providing that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're playing an important role in a lot of kids' lives, and I think that's phenomenal. So now let's talk about the second pillar. So that was your education.
Yeah.
What's the second one?
So, there's no particular order for us. It's whatever the kids gravitate to, right?
Exactly.
So, another one, physical activity and healthy lifestyles is what we talk about.
Because that we're lacking these days. A lot of kids, they just spend all their time on their phones, tablets, or computers, right?
Yeah. And we do, so when I talked about locations, that we also have a virtual clubhouse. So we do have that option for people that can't physically come into our locations. But the physical one, typically we run sports leagues. We have skills and drills programming.
So what type of sports do they play?
Everything. We have basketball is a very popular one. That's that's up and coming. Not up and coming. That's become very popular.
Yeah, it's extremely popular. So do you have like a team, like BCG Ottawa team? Like, do you guys actually compete with other, like in a league or something?
Yeah, so our one of our flagship programs is a sports and leadership league. And that was one that, because of all the different locations, we're able to attract kids from these different neighborhoods that will come together during the summer typically, and during the school year actually, have major competitions week to week.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we didn't get to run it last year. Right now, it's not scheduled to run, but we're preparing, and everyone's excited. It brings we get 200 kids in a gym, and just the excitement is phenomenal.
Okay, so you mentioned these programs run for ages 6 to
18.
6 to 18
typically. Yeah, we do have community services as well.
Yeah.
So we do outreach programming. We have a program called Provincial Youth Outreach Workers.
Exactly.
We have a diversion program as well that supports youth that get in trouble with the law, get in conflict with the law. And then volunteer program as well. So typically those ones, they all attract people that are 25, up to 24, 25 years old.
So, physical. What's the third pillar?
Third one, leadership.
Leadership, which is an important role these days for kids.
For sure. And we have a program called Leaders for Life, where it's a consistent week-to-week program where, actually this year they were doing it twice a week, and it's young people from across the city. So they're meeting people not necessarily from where they live, but in different areas, which is important to build new relationships.
And what did they learn? How to do public speaking and so on? Or?
Exactly, public speaking, job writing skills, how communication skills, whatever skills they need to further their own development, their own careers, their own,
And the last pillar?
Last one, creative arts.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's the fun one too.
That's the fun one. So what do you do in that one?
So same, so all sorts of arts. So it could be visual, it could be photography. It just depends on what the children are interested in, and also some of the special guests that we bring in. So our staff are youth development experts, right? They understand how to create connections with young people, but not necessarily have the specific skill set in whatever the program is. Right? Some might be great at arts, some might not be great at sports, but maybe not both. And so we might partner with somebody and bring in a special guest, an artist that could come and teach the kids how to do a painting in a way that's more creative than what somebody like myself would do.
I'm sure you're good at it too. So let me ask you this. So how do you get those people? Are they your staff? Are they qualified teachers, or is it volunteers, or it's someone else from perhaps some other school? They come in extra to help out. How does it work?
Most of the time.
So who's teaching the kids, basically?
It depends on the program or the experts.
Depending,
it depends. So sometimes we'll partner with community partners. We'll bring in a community partner. So we have a program with Shopify and Virtual Ventures, which is specifically around coding. And learning how to do coding at such a young age. And so we partner with them, so they bring in the expertise, but our staff are the ones that understand how to work with the children we serve, right? And so it's a great way to connect two different skill sets with still meeting the kids' needs. So that's just one example. And it also depends on which staff. We have tons of, like I said, part-time staff they know the children, they know the youth. They've been there for a long time. They've built their relationships with the kids. That's why they keep coming back.
Of course.
Right? And so if they have we have one, I know one staff that he's got a strong background in basketball, and he's developed our sport and leadership program, and he connects with the young people that in a way that only somebody that's seen them and sees them over the years that can do, coaches them.
Of course, he coaches them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So how can kids come to your center? Say if someone's interested, how do they go?
Yeah, so right now it would be a pre-registration. You can just show up and sign up. You can call as well. The best thing to do is just to go to our website to start. It's www.bgcottawa.org.
Okay.
That's the best way to start, and you can find the closest location to you. Like I said, we're all around the city, and you can call us as well, and just to say you need more information, you want to sign up for programs.
Mm-hmm. And are the programs free?
100%.
100%. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, people need to know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so they just show up. What do they need to bring with them for registration?
So registration, we ask for personal information so that we, for your safety and health, right? So
of course, emergency contacts, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And the other thing I wanted to know is you mentioned that you work with a lot of other community organizations. So which organizations? Is it a lot of them, or?
Yeah, it depends on the issue that we're trying to address. So last year we've done a lot with Ottawa Public Health and the City of Ottawa.
Yes.
We launched a brand new program called Neighborhood Ambassador Program.
Oh.
Where the kids, what we're hearing from educators, teachers, principals, schools, community partners, they weren't seeing the kids anymore, right? Because everything was closed, and so we created this. We already had an outreach program, but we just expanded it and really. We go to the parks, we go to playgrounds. When the malls were open, we were going to the malls, wherever young people were. And so we didn't really matter where our physical buildings were, as long as our staff could do some street outreach and meet them there. Yeah. Exactly. So we partnered with them a lot. It was around COVID, dealing with COVID and understanding all the rules and the changes every day changes. But then, and now it's the opportunities, right? So where are their jobs? Where is their, if you have a friend that has an addiction issue, how do you address that? Those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, did COVID impact you guys greatly? Like, in what aspect?
Yeah, I mean,
I know a lot of the programs obviously were shut down.
Yeah, so
were you talking to the kids virtually? Because some of them may actually just needed this, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they rely on going to this club, don't they?
So, like many
kids.
Yeah, for sure. So we had to switch some of our approach. So we definitely did a lot of virtual. At the beginning of the pandemic last March, but then we also did a lot of wellness checks. We called the families. We know our families.
You know your families.
We know who they are. That we've had people that historically been coming for a long time.
Yeah.
And even for the new ones, we would do outreach to them as well.
Yeah.
And then we were open last summer. We're usually because we can operate as a day camp. We'd be open, and so we got to operate last
outside?
Year. Inside as well.
Oh, inside as well.
We did indoor programming last year, so that's why this summer. We're very excited because it's our second year operating during COVID, so I think we know what we're doing.
You know what you're doing, exactly. If you survived last year, then I think you're pretty safe.
Happy about the same.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. So all the kids who are there, I'm assuming all the staff is already fully vaccinated, right?
I hope so. I mean, this is a personal choice, but
that's true.
We definitely
do encourage it.
We encourage it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And if other community organizations, if they want to get involved with the Boys and Girls Club, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah. So you would reach out. You can reach out to myself directly. You can reach out. Most people do reach out directly. So. Do you want me to share contact information or something? Yeah, sure. Yeah. You can do admasu@bgcottawa.org.
Yeah, we can even display it in the in one of the slides.
Perfect. Okay, sure. So they just in terms of their interests, if they want to partner with us, if they have a program, we've partnered with people that are specialty in financial literacy to.
Maybe mental health,
many, whatever, social service, social recreation type of opportunities they have. We want to give access and opportunities for young people.
Of course.
We don't say we're the experts on everything, we just have relationships with them. So this is an opportunity to get young people both.
Okay. And how do you deal with, with the kids? I'm sure they come, like the one family that was hit in London, that was kind of traumatizing, and then now, for Canada Day, the celebrations were cancelled because of, they found more little kids, right?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with things like that? Because I'm sure kids, they're worried and they're anxious and they want to talk to somebody about it.
For sure.
So do you bring in an expert to talk to them about it, or how do you guys deal with that?
We have to start with our staff first, because if our staff are prepared to deal with it, then we can support the children and youth. So I mean, we've gone through a whole process of dealing with equity issues in general this last year, and so I think the number one is just checking in with each other, and so like I said,
see how they're feeling.
The wellness checks, like I said, doing phone calls to families and just seeing how that is. The other thing is sometimes when it's possible, we bring people in to speak to children and youth. We haven't, because of COVID, it hasn't been the same that way, but we on our virtual programs we can do some of those things as well. But I think number one is really increasing awareness about these issues internally so that we can handle it. Like right now, we're reopening, we're going to welcome all these children and youth back. They've just gone through a year of so many different events. I mean, the last month, I mean, you've just seen so much stuff. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's hard, right? Especially for young kids, it's very difficult for them to deal with, and sometimes they just need to talk about it. Yeah, and be reassured, you know.
And there's a lot of resources out there for doing it, right? Like there's and there's very child-friendly material, right, where we can use to teach the kids about these issues. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there may be some people out there watching who have high school kids who may want to volunteer. So you said you have a lot of volunteers. You take high school kids who can come and volunteer?
We do.
Like it's open to everybody?
We do. Because again, COVID kind of prevented it from happening the same way. We have placement students that come from the colleges and universities.
Yes.
We have high school students that come directly. We have good partnerships. We partner with Ashbury College as an example. And then we have volunteers who are just interested. They want to develop their social service skills, and so they want to come to us, see if this is the career that they want, working with children and youth.
Right.
So the best right now, if
say there's a high school couple of kids out there who may be interested in volunteering, to get their 40 hours.
Yeah, so we have a volunteer coordinator that supports all volunteers. Her name is Melissa Marion.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she also
go on the website or should they just maybe contact you and then you can direct them?
They can go directly on the website as well. Everything's at bgcottawa.org. Everything
is there. So check out their website, bgcottawa.org.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so that's good to know. So kids can come and volunteer. Because I know most of the kids who are volunteering at like food banks and these type of things, everything is closed, right? To volunteer. So maybe this could be a good opportunity for some children who are looking to get involved.
Yeah, so right now it is closed for in-person. And so our focus has been virtual for the volunteers now. We're trying to collect our list of people that want to get volunteer experience for the fall. Fall is when we'll be able to open up because of...
So there's no volunteer opportunities in the summer, or there is virtual, maybe tutoring or something?
So we did start a tutoring program, but it was running during the school year mostly, right? Yeah. And so the best bet right now would be, if you're interested, it would be for the fall.
Yeah.
We also have special events that are coming up that there might be some opportunities there as well. The point is just contact us, let us get you on the list with us, and then the opportunities don't stop in normal times. And so... we have a huge fundraiser coming up in September 10th, and so there might be some opportunities there as well.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's talk about that fundraiser.
Sure.
How exciting.
Yeah,
so tell us about it. What's the fundraiser?
It's called BGC Morning Social.
Okay.
I think this will be the 12th year that we're running it, and it's our biggest annual event. It's a morning breakfast event, and so we'll have virtual options, but we'll have in-person as well. So taking over some locations in the city and inviting family and friends and guests, and profiling stories about what's happened the past year, and trying to inspire people about what the successes of the children and youth that
of course
serve. Yeah,
because your club actually plays such a important role in a lot of many children's life throughout not only the Ottawa community, but now you're saying nationally as well, right? So it's something which is very important that people should try to get involved in. And what is your target to raise at this fundraiser? Do you guys have a goal?
Well, of course, you always want to beat the last year goal. Last year we were able to get just over $1 million for this fundraiser, and that was So I mean, and this is a year where people are excited to see each other again. I think
exactly.
If we get to that point where we can do it like this, then I think we're welcoming everyone for this one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned sometime in September. Do you have a date?
Yeah, September 10th.
September 10th. So if anyone is interested, September 10th. It's called a social.
Yeah,
morning social.
And I'll even share the exact location. You can share with your
we can
guests.
Put a slide in here, and we can have that running as well.
Sure. BGCOttawa.org /morning social.
Yeah.
And
who's chairing it? Gary Zed?
Gary Zed, yeah, Lisa Marac are the two co-chairs. They've been chairing for a little while.
A couple of years
big
now,
promotions for
very
this
big,
program.
They're doing a phenomenal job, exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good to know. And you mentioned that you guys are everywhere, social media. Why don't you tell the viewers where else can they find you?
Sure. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. We're at BGC Ottawa for all those social media platforms.
Okay. So Facebook, check them out. BGC Ottawa. BGC Ottawa.
I got you.
Check them out. Exactly. You got me now. It's a bit of a tongue twister, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
BGC Ottawa, at BGC Ottawa for all social media platforms.
Yeah. So if you're interested in getting involved, which is a great charity, why not? As part of our own community, part of giving back to your community, it is important for us to be involved in these type of charities. So people should get involved. Do check them out on Facebook, Instagram. Go on their website. Look up the Morning Social. They have a big fundraiser coming up. So, and if you have children who are looking for those 40 hours to graduate from high school, why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And actually, can I mention one other thing?
Of course you can.
I was thinking there's many partners, and you mentioned what happened in London recently.
Yes.
There's one partner that we've partnered with in the past. I haven't directly, but some of our team has. It's Ottawa Community Muslim Services, and they were able to get help with a hamper program during Ramadan. During Ramadan, okay. And that was an example of the kind of partnerships that help us because the people that come to the club very diverse in terms of who
they are very
children
diverse.
and youth. We have a big Muslim population that we've been able to. Historically, it's always been like that. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to remember who are the other partners.
Let me know. I can connect you to one as well. I'm involved with this other group, UMOG.
Okay.
United Muslims Organizations of Ottawa Gatineau.
Okay.
So all of the smaller organizations belong to this mother organization.
Perfect. Yeah.
So they also have a food program. It was just actually for COVID.
Okay.
During COVID, just to help people. It's still running, and they can help as well.
Great.
If you need more food hampers, no problem.
Great. Yeah.
That's good to know. Good. So is there anything else that you would like to tell the viewers? Perhaps, we missed something and...
I think I have to definitely promote Camp, this nice weather outside. Yes. I gotta definitely let people know about Camp Smitty. Camp Smitty, named after Brian Smith, who's a former CTV journalist, broadcaster, and
where is it? Where is this camp?
It's in Eganville, but you get picked. Your children you register and you get picked up right from one of our 3 locations.
Yeah.
And
what are the 3 locations? Let's tell the viewers.
Sure. So Don McGann, again in the East End on MacArthur Road.
Yeah.
Then the West End location on Du Maurier and Pinecrest.
Yeah.
And then Ron Colbus Clubhouse, and then the third one, Tomlinson Clubhouse.
Dines?
At Meadowlands.
Okay.
And Meadowlands and Prince of Wales.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the kids, do they go away, the kids?
They go away.
How long do they go away for?
10 days.
10 days, wow.
10 days.
And what are the ages?
So it starts at 8 and it goes to 16.
Okay, so it's a little bit older kids.
Yeah.
So if you have kids between 8 and 16 and if you'd like to send them, why not?
So this is the only
program. How do they register for
this? The difference here, I did say, it's about 99.9% free for all programs. The one that is different is the camp. So 10-day program, you do pay for the camp.
How much is it?
So it's $1,200 for full 10 days.
Okay.
It's all income based. And so if you can't, if you need a subsidy of some sort, we do that as well.
Yeah.
It'll be $8.95 without having any proof. You just tell us you can't afford it, or you have multiple children or something like that, and then even reduced even more so depending on your financial situation.
So if someone is in the lowest income level, you guys will subsidize for them, and their kids can go.
Yeah, we go for grants, and we get donors that provides that support.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we definitely.
And it's open to boys and girls, right? Everybody.
It's everybody.
8 to 16.
8 to 16.
Okay, and it's for 10 days. What are the dates?
10 days. So first session, we have 3 sessions this year: July 12th to, let's see if I can do quick math here, like 10 days. So the
22nd, let's say.
There you go, 22nd. Thank you. And then the next sessions are right after
right
that.
After.
So the third
next
session,
10 days and then so on.
Yeah, August 9th to the 19th is the last session.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 3 sessions. So that's, kids could have a blast. And what type of activities will they be doing there?
Oh, just you think of outdoor camping when we have games, ropes games, low ropes games. We have a waterfront property where you can swim, learning skills there. Tons of games, competitions against each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about having fun. This year, because we had to cancel last year, our counselors, our staff, everyone's super excited.
Everyone is so excited. So that's good to know. Yeah. So that's phenomenal, and we've learned so much about the important role of the BGC, sorry, Ottawa.
It's okay. 100 years since the first year in the new term.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
I'm so used to calling it the Boys and Girls Club.
Me too.
So, the important role they play in many, many kids' lives. So, thank you so much, Maiden, for coming on the show. And it was great learning more. And perhaps you can come back and update us in the future.
Anytime.
Maybe after the fundraiser.
Probably after the fundraiser. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
तो उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों ने आज का शो एंजॉय करा होगा। हमने काफ़ी चीज़ें लर्न करी बॉयज़ एंड गर्ल्स क्लब के बारे में और हम कैसे इन्वॉल्व हो सकते हैं उनके साथ, और हम सब लोगों को चाहिए कि उनकी हेल्प भी करें और इन्वॉल्व हों कम्युनिटी में। तो अंटिल नेक्स्ट टाइम, फिर आपसे नेक्स्ट वीक मुलाकात होगी। थैंक यू।